Yesterday, it was a circus. When there is such a national crisis, William Ruto is out of the country. He designates a blogger, Dennis Itumbe, to chair a meeting of such serious issue. The transport officials who were there were shocked that a meeting attended by the CS for National Treasury, the CS for Transport, and the CS for Energy and Petroleum was being chaired by a blogger, Dennis Itumbe. That is how casual William Ruto treats the people of Kenya. When the whole country is at standstill, the economy is paralyzed, nothing is going on in the country, he has the audacity to designate a blogger to chair a meeting to unlock the crisis. And that is a problem we have with the country. And many people have been asking me, how did we get here? And I have told them, William Ruto surrendered the leadership of the country to a blogger called Dennis Itumbe, a standard 2 dropout called Oscar Sudi, a standard 6 dropout called Farouk Kibet. Those are the people who run the country. Kindiki was in the country. He was not asked to chair the meeting. He's just another flower girl. The president doesn't think much of him. He asked Dennis Itumbe to go and chair the meeting. And that is what has been happening. And yesterday, principal secretaries and CEOs from the mountain called me crying that Dennis Itumbe is harassing them to raise $1 billion shillings to fund the Olkalau by-election. And every PS from the mountain has been forced to produce 20 million shillings to go and fund Olkalau by-election. Every CEO from the mountain has been asked to give 30 million shillings to fund the Olkalau by-election. And they are crying because they had to borrow similar amounts for the Bere by-election. Because these PSs and CEOs are arguing that ordinarily they would look for this money from contractors. But they cannot. William Ruto is the one who gives all the businesses to their state departments and their state corporations and deals with the contractors directly. So these PSs, these CEOs cannot ask for money from any contractor because they are dealing directly from William Ruto. So from Bere, they had to borrow the money from their friends. They are yet to pay. Now they are being intimidated. Dennis Itumbe has summoned them to an office. And you can't believe it, that the office that was purchased by government for retired President Mwai Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, the greatest president Kenya has ever had, that office where Kibaki used to sit is where Dennis Itumbe is sitting. He is sitting on the chair Mwai Kibaki was sitting on. He is using the office that was being occupied by Mwai Kibaki. What disrespect to Mwai Kibaki and to the people of Kenya, that a blogger has been allocated the office that was occupied by the third president of the Republic of Kenya. And that is where the PSs and the CEOs of parastatals are being summoned by Dennis Itumbe. And he calls the president and puts him on speakerphone and says, I have told them your message. They are preparing. There's a lot of intimidation. PSs are crying. CEOs of parastatals are crying because of the level of extortion by William Ruto through Dennis Itumbe to fund by-elections in the mountain. This Dennis Itumbe, a blogger, is the one in charge of government, not Kindiki. When Ruto goes out of the country, he leaves Dennis Itumbe in charge. And you saw yesterday, the CS National Treasury is a very senior cabinet secretary with executive powers. But the meeting he is in is being chaired by Dennis Itumbe. Ordinarily, that meeting should have been chaired by the deputy president, the fake one. Or at least the head of the public service, Felix Kosgei. But William Ruto, because of despising the people of Kenya, designates a blogger, Dennis Itumbe, to chair a meeting to unlock a crisis in his country when he is wallowing in luxury, in private jets, being massaged in air. That is the kind of joke that we have in our country. I want to ask the PSs and the CEOs not to give that money for Olkalau and to go to their offices and work. They are telling me they have been told to camp in Olokalau to go and campaign. Most of them are saying they don't even know how to campaign. They have never participated in politics. Each has been allocated a polling station and told to give money and go and campaign for the UDA candidate in Olokalau. They are all working under Dennis Itobe, a blogger. He is in charge of PSs and CEOs of parastatals. It's the greatest joke in the history of Kenya that a blogger is in charge of PSs and CEOs of state corporations, that a blogger is chairing a meeting attended by the CS National Treasury, Energy and Petroleum, and the CS for Transport and Infrastructure. That is how casual William Ruto treats the people of Kenya and the challenges that they face. But of course, the worst joke is Kipchumba Murkomen. He's the worst CS Interior we have seen since independence. He's such a joke. You know, even if William Ruto wanted a college into CS Interior, why can't you look for a serious, mature fellow? Why do you give the job to a CS who is childish and juvenile? A fellow who reduces a national crisis into a tribal joke. You know, that is how serious the situation back home is. So let me ask the officials of the transport sector who have said they will negotiate with the government. I've issued this statement because it's the right thing for me to do. We are facing a situation in our country where the representatives of the people, the senators and members of the National Assembly, have been bought and compromised by William Ruto and no longer speak for the people of Kenya. The opposition, as it was known then, the ODM, was also swallowed by government to the broad-based government. And as such, there is nobody to speak for the people of Kenya. I have found it my civic duty at any one time to speak out to the issues that bedevil our republic. I have seen the CS Interior from time to time trying to condemn me for speaking out. The government of William Ruto is allergic to the truth, and Rigathi has decided, urged by the people of Kenya and encouraged by the people of Kenya, to continue speaking the truth at all times. That is why, in addition to my statement that I have read, I need to expound a few issues. That the real issue that faces our country in matters fuel is conflict of interest and state capture. The G2G arrangement is a business arrangement by William Ruto through Gulf Energy to fleece the people of Kenya. And the issue is not even the taxes. The issue is not the transportation costs. The issue is the landed cost of fuel in Kenya. As we speak today, the landed cost of oil in matters petrol is 117 Kenya shillings and diesel is 167 shillings. We have information that is confirmed that in a G2G arrangement that has been negotiated with the companies that are selling oil to Kenya, in the landed cost of petrol, William Ruto pockets 30 shillings per litre, and in diesel he pockets 40 shillings per litre. This is what we need to discuss. So, although the matatu owners have agreed to have some negotiation, it must start from there. That William Ruto must agree to forego the 30 shillings per litre for petrol and 40 litres of per every litre of diesel. And once that is done, these prices will start going down. They'll start going down. Again, we have indicated that we must remove VAT to zero. Again, that will bring the cost of fuel down. Again, we must remove 7 shillings that has been added to the 18 shillings to make it 25. That will make it go down. The oil marketers are getting 24 shillings per litre. They also must agree to go by half to 12 shillings. If all these measures are implemented, the cost of fuel will come down. And it must start with William Ruto. It is him, as the president of Kenya, who must agree to be the leader of Kenya and not a businessman. And he must agree to forego the profit he has negotiated with the companies that are selling us this oil. We also must come not just the issue of cost, but the quality of fuel. Ideally, the fuel that we are supposed to buy at this price is supposed to have 5% milligrams per liter of fuel in matter sulfur. But what has been brought has 60 milligrams of sulfur per liter. This is bad fuel. And I must warn the people of Kenya that the vehicles, the engines that manufacturers have come up with, Euro 4, Euro 5, Euro 6, the way those engines have been designed and manufactured, they cannot take bad fuel. I heard Hassan Omar of UDA saying that people have been radicalized and asking what people have done to William Ruto or what William Ruto has done to the people. I want to say, Hassan Omar, you are the ones radicalizing the people of Kenya. When you ask Churchill to kill the matatu industry and replace it with BTR buses, what are you doing? That is radicalization. The matatu industry employs many people. Many Kenyans have invested in the matatu industry. And you are issuing a public statement asking the Minister for Transport to kill the matatu industry and replace it with the BTR. You are actually radicalizing the matatu owners, the drivers, the touts, and all the people who work out a living from the matatu industry. You are asking what the William Ruto did to people of Kenya, why they are so angry. You should know because you live in Kenya. He abducted and killed their children. People are still in pain. He has levied taxes that are unreasonable to the people of Kenya. He has refused to pay pending bills to the people of Kenya. Their properties are being auctioned. He has made bribery a way of life. He is mocking Kenyans by displaying millions of shillings in public when people have no food on the table. That is what William Ruto has done to the people of Kenya. If you didn't know, I heard you ask that question. I have that answer for you. And you're asking why people are radicalized. It is the government that is radicalizing the people. The kind of statements of P.O. Adai and John Badi are making, the so-called experts, are radicalizing the people of Kenya. And they will be radicalized because that is the way the government wants things to be done.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.